Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the United States. Here in the Millennium Dawn modern day mod for Hearts of Iron 4. So, last episode we took out Laos. Fantastic, they're now a puppet of ours. No more communism down here. Oh yeah, I forgot. You guys, I was gonna do something before I was going to go invade Cuba, but I forgot we're going to invade military Thailand this episode, so we're going to justify that war rather swiftly, rather easily. What we're also going to do is we're splitting up our forces in half. 19 of our other forces are going over to line up against Pakistan, because we are going to stop the Islamist spread in the Middle East. We are going to invade the Middle East and pretty much puppet every nation quickly and easily. So we're going to go down here to military Thailand. Everybody's lining up, getting ready. I need to... Oh my god. Oh my god. Not again. Should the series end? Because isn't this a Donald Trump scenario? Should it end this episode? Should it end? Because he's dead. Oh no! They added that back in. I thought they threw that out. By 2020, this was his last year. Oh man. Wow. Oh, that's horrible. Okay, so Mike Pence is back as President of the United States, but this kind of opens up a new thing, because now it's Mike Pence versus Bernie Sanders, and Mike Pence really never chose anything to do for, his campaign, so he's going to be going until the end of this year. Granted, probably the only thing that he's actually going to be able to do is take out military Thailand before the end of his campaign, technically. So this is going to be a rather short episode. Donald Trump assassinated. Today, the United States President Donald John Trump was assassinated by a sniper during a public speech in Nashville, Tennessee. The United States Senate has expressed shock and anger at the assassination, which marked the first United States president killed in office since John F. Kennedy. The assassination, 21-year-old Jeffrey Smith, a Tennessee local, had been an active Bernie Sanders supporter in the past campaign. He immediately surrendered to the police after firing the lethal shot, claiming to save America from fascism. While Jeffrey Smith likely has to face the death penalty, Vice President Mike Pence has assumed the position of the head of government and the head of state of the United States of America. The tables have in fact turned. So Mike Pence is now the leader of the Conservative Party. I think technically the series should be over because Donald Trump is assassinated, but I'm going to give it into your guys' hands again. Now it's Mike Pence or Bernie, and we already saw a pretty good amount of support for Bernie Sanders in the last episode before this, but of course Donald was going to win the presidential election again, but now the tables have in fact turned once more. So that is going to be pretty crazy. So we have to think, can Mike Pence do anything in this campaign quickly in order to show the American people that he should still be president in 2020? Oh my gosh, that is insane. That is insanity to me. And then of course third parties are now gaining support again. So that's just like, that's shock and awe to me. Because you really wouldn't have expected that. I thought they literally threw that part out of the game, or at least out of the mod. So that's so insane to me that they still kept that in there, because I did not think they did. Wow. They got a lot of armor units, these guys. Proud of them. Of course, it's military Thailand. The justification will be coming swiftly. Now you can see that the justification is going to be done December 11th of 2020. So that's even after, I'm guessing, this new election, if they allow us to choose the people of the election, which I'm guessing they would, because they allowed us to choose 2016. So now, and of course Social Liberal is gaining some support now. So it's 46-48 conservative. But Mike Pence is now in office. Wow. That's insane to me. I didn't think that would happen. Yeah. So I'm guessing this is the one. 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Oh yeah, I forgot, because Tokyo was going to do that. That's awesome. We're going to side with the Saudis and not side with Iran, because that's what would happen. We need to get all of our research taken care of, so let's go ahead and pause. Because I'm not going to say that this is completely, this series is gone. Because it's not yet. We're going to do Mobile Wolf X. It's going to be great for us. We'll research a new tank because we need it. Can research that. That is nuts. Donald got shot a couple months before possible re-election, or most likely re-election. Now it's 46-49. Bernie Sanders could get a good amount of support this time. So what we're going to do is, just to keep some cool time, I'm just going to kind of explain what we were going to do in our second term of office as Donald, even though now it can't happen. We were going to start the military invasion of military Thailand. We were going to take them out, take all their precious rubber, completely probably annex the country because we need that rubber. Then we were going to move in to the Middle East and stop the spread of Islamists going around. But as you can see, we can no longer do that. We were also going to probably invade and puppet Cuba, because we have Guantanamo Bay as our starting invading spot, and they are communist, so we could stop that. But again, looks like it can no longer happen. Now the question becomes, if the new president is either Mike Pence or Bernie Sanders, do we go after Russia? And also, we were going to invade Ukraine because they are communists as well. We were going to invade them, puppet them as a conservative nation. But now this is all changed after this terrifying, this terrifying assassination that happened by Jeffrey Smith. I think that was what his name was. Donald did crazy things in this campaign. He, in just 4 years, he gave Korea all of the country, of all of the land of Korea. There is no longer North and South Korea. He gave the Republic of China back. China, the entire country of China, is now to a conservative leader. He gave, he got Vietnam. They're kind of independents. They're puppeted by us, but they are conservative, so he gave them democracy. He gave Laos democracy. He was going to give military Thailand democracy, but that might not actually happen. And he was going to go into the Middle East and stop the spread of Islamists. But now, they can't. He almost destroyed communism. The only two communist countries that I believe are left is Ukraine and Cuba. I believe that's the only two communist nations left, except for, no, Democratic Republic of Congo is not communist, so I think those are the only communist countries left. And he was about to completely knock off communism, but sadly enough, he got assassinated because Jeffrey Smith thought that Donald Trump was a fascist. So that's very, very sad, but it's just what happened. So now we have Mike Pence possibly grieving Donald Trump and now having to take role as the president of the United States. But now we're kind of stuck with a decision. Does the series end? Because it was mostly a Donald Trump scenario, because now that he is dead, does the series end? And, besides that, if it doesn't end, who is president? Mike Pence or Bernie? And there was a lot of support for Bernie. So that's a very difficult decision for us to make. We're going to get the Gen 2. We're going to need to change that. We're going to get the next battle tank. So we're going to need to get some new things. We don't want to trade with Russia just yet, so we'll go ahead and trade some more. Do we need... Yeah, no, we don't. So... Oh, man, that is nuts. I can't believe the start of the episode, he, gets shot. That's crazy. I thought they took that out of the mod, and apparently they did not. So I don't want this being a rerun of the series that I did last time. So that's why I ask you guys, do you want me to stay with Mike Pence? Because if the overwhelming majority do, I will stay with Mike Pence and we'll ride it on for another 4 years, and then that'll be the end of the series. Or do we change it up and go with Bernie Sanders and then go 4 years with the Bernie Sanders scenario? Because we can do that as well. So it's kind of a toss-up now that this has happened to us. So that is insanity. But we have to kind of just go with what life gives us. So this justification was going to be done and was going to happen after Donald Trump's re-election. But the tables have in fact turned, possibly giving Bernie Sanders an edge. Man, that's crazy. Because we were gonna take over the Middle East, by takeover I mean puppet them and give them democracy. We were going to take over military Thailand and actually annex the country because we do want that beautiful rubber. But now the question becomes, if Bernie Sanders, the Democratic Socialist, comes in, what happens? Because we can't destroy the wall that has been made. We cannot destroy that. That's there. But what he can do is he can lift sanctions and just completely open the country. He could bring the taxes very low. He could try to give them free health care. We're under free trade right now, which I thought we were on an export focus, but we are not. And we're only on volunteer only, which I'm guessing that if Bernie Sanders does become the next president, he wouldn't do. So I'm trying to get my mind kind of set into that. I actually didn't know that we owned these little islands over here. Didn't know that. That's actually a victory point too. Weird. So that's cool. But, Mexico might enjoy having Bernie Sanders in office, and maybe some of Europe will. But some of Europe also loves the fact that Donald Trump was in office. Now Mike Pence is there, and kind of, I don't know, it might be shaky for the people of Europe. But the military still stands ready, waiting. The supplies in the area, I'm guessing, aren't that good. Yeah, so we're going to have to take a good amount of these guys out. But their strength is still good. Their organization is kind of just the thing that's falling apart. So we're going to keep them there for now. Wow. Isn't that crazy? That's insanity. I did not think that was going to happen. Granted, you can't be mad at it because it could possibly have happened. I can't say that Donald Trump's going to get assassinated, but, JFK got assassinated. You never know what might happen in the rest of the world, and what happens here in real life. But that's crazy. So we did go with the Saudis because technically Mike Pence is still in office, and I think he would have done that. We can choose some other things. We'll choose giving building slots to the rural nations because I think that Mike Pence would try to give the rural nations some work. So that's what's happening there. But man, that's crazy. You would not have thought that that would have happened. I mean, I don't. I never would have thought that Donald would have gotten assassinated, but he did. So that's pretty nuts. If you guys do think that the series should end because you think that it was just a Donald Trump scenario, now that Donald is dead, it's done, then, put that down in the comments below. So that I will know that you guys don't want it. If you guys want this to be changed from a Donald Trump to a Bernie, then put that down in the comments below. Vote for Bernie. If you guys want this to continue under Mike Pence, then vote for Mike Pence. But this video will probably be fairly short because we're going to wait until the election, and then hopefully, I say that we're going to try to change it. Hopefully we can actually get it to have an election. I don't know if the election's actually going to pop up. But that I went into this thinking we were going to take military Thailand. We were going to go after the Middle East. We were going to re-elect Donald, and we were going to keep going. That's not the case at all anymore. So that's crazy to think that we can apply to join the EU, but we already are in the EU. No, we're not. That was dumb. I thought I was playing as like the UK or something because I'm playing as the UK, not recording. I'm just playing it for fun. So I thought we were already in the EU. That was a complete lie. Why can't we do that though? Well, the following must be true. Capital state is in Europe. Duh. But we can apply to join the EU if we do that in the Israel series, but I don't know if I actually want to. Oh, did they add a few new people? I don't know. I was gonna say there have been a few updates since last. I'm just trying to check and see if there's been anything new added. Wow, isn't that's something. That is something. So we're gonna soon find out if we are able to have this election. So we're gonna research some more things until then. This is kind of like a grieving episode. Or to some people, you're like, yeah, he's dead. I don't know. Kind of just depends on how you guys think. But this is kind of like a grieving episode. This kind of sucks. But should the series be over? Because technically this was a Trump scenario to start. So now that he is, long gone, it's doing that thing. Ew, gross. But should this be done? That is a great question, but I will wait to see if we get to have a election. That is insane. So here we go. Soon it should pop up. I think. Because it is in November of 2020. That is our next election. Wow. What a time, to be alive. What a time. So I'm going to skip forward some time here because I don't know if it's going to pop up. If it doesn't, then I say that because this was a Trump scenario that it should be over. But it kind of depends on you guys. Do you guys want this to continue? That's crazy, That's just, to me, that's nuts. It doesn't seem to have popped up yet. Oh, I thought that was it. Oh, that scared me. There we go. Yeah, it hasn't popped up yet. So we'll have to see. Are we even able to change? We're in December. I wonder if it changes in January. In 2020. I don't know. We may not even get it. We may have Mike Pence for the rest. It says next election November of 2024. Actually, I forgot. Doesn't Mike Pence serve a term? Because of the fact that he's president? I thought he only served the rest of Donald's term. but that might actually be the case. So, how long do we have this for? February 9th. So we're going to wait until the end of this year. We're going to chug through the rest of this. And I leave you guys with the question. Does the series continue under Mike Pence? That is a pretty good question to ask, because this was a Donald Trump scenario. So now that Donald has passed away and is gone, is it done? Because if not, we could take over military Thailand next episode, which would be pretty rad. I think that'll be awesome. But you never know. But you have to look. You have to look at it. In this little scenario of his presidency, Donald did some pretty crazy things. He gave Korea the entirety of Korea now. He gave China the entirety of China. He basically almost wiped out communism, and he was going to try to wipe out the little bit of nationalist over in Asia and go into the Middle East and destroy the Islamists. But now that's all over. So it kind of just depends on you guys. Does the series continue, or does it end because Donald has died? I leave that question to you. And if it does continue, hopefully we'll see an election come 2024. But I will probably start up a new series here very soon of a Bernie Sanders scenario of 2016, because I think you guys will really enjoy that. I think that'll be awesome. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode anyway. Just grieve a little bit for possibly the series to be over. And then I will see you in the next episodes that we do of other series, if this one doesn't continue, or in this one. So I will see you all later. Until then, Glenn Games signing off as always. Take care, everyone.